The Mommy Wines podcast is a Mommy Wines Network and Emma and Carly production. Brought to you by Anchor and Coffee Over Cardio.
We are back.
If we have any listeners from last week.
Oh my gosh.
If we literally have anybody else that actually still likes us after last
somebody
week.
Instagrammed me and requested that we do the controversial parenting tag. And we have had so many, what do you call it? Like conversations and backstories and explanations of our answers of why we are choosing the direction of our answers the way we are, that this is now part 2. So welcome.
Yeah, because you can't just be like, I think that you should slice and dice your baby's dick without
We are the worst moms to do this, unless we're the best. I don't know.
Basically, whatever. We're the average moms. We're average. And you're talking about a controversial issue. You don't get to just say, this is my stance on it without getting to share why it's your stance.
Right.
Crying out loud.
I also love how in the last episode it went from adoption to baby piercing.
Yeah.
Dumb. But welcome back to another episode of the Mommy Wines podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.
We are, you're gonna miss a Sip or Spill wine review this week
because
because
the second one.
Part 2.
Although
I have my Petroglyph White.
And
Carly
I'm drinking
has
Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot.
Yep.
Because she is hot to trot.
I'm hot, baby. You
You
should see the moves.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could see this. They're hot.
Anyway.
Trot. Okay, so where are we at?
Right back
We're
into
right
it.
back
We're
into it.
on
Cry
number
it out.
7. Cry it out method versus other. I don't know what the other is.
I know. I'm like, well, what's the other? Because
Like,
my baby cries a shit ton.
I started sleep training Milo when he was about 6 months old.
Okay.
How'd
it look?
And I would, if he was crying, I would do like 2 minutes. And then, like, as time went on, I would increase the time I would let him cry. I don't know if that's cry it out, because I'm not just, like, fully, like,
I think cry it out is you let them cry until they pass out and go to sleep. I think that's what cry it out means. Cry themselves out to sleep.
I didn't do that. I just increased the time. Like,
okay.
So if I went in there after 2 minutes and I, like, picked him up, I soothed him, I laid him back down, I knew he was tired. If he cried again, I would wait, like, 3 minutes. And then, like, a couple days later, I would start out at, like, 4 minutes and move up to, like, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. And I would just increase the time as time went on. And then eventually he's fine, despite the fact that he slept in my bed every single day this week. Maybe I ruined him. He's my first pancake.
Whatever. Cry it out. I've got 2 older kids and a baby. 10-year-old cried it out. She totally cried it out.
Your
my
first kid,
baby.
You went straight for crying it out?
Cry it out because,
I imagine crying, full-blown cry it out, I feel like would be like a second kid thing. Because everyone's like, oh, you baby your first kid, and then you just freaking kick your second kid straight to the curb.
I know, yeah, you do. And on your third, you're like, as long as she's eating her dirt for the day, she's fine. No, I let my first cry it out, but she didn't, she was a pretty, like, I think you just go off of what your baby tells you, right? And, like, my first was, like, a mastermind, and so I knew that she, like, you know what I mean? She would, like, cry, and you go in to check on them, and then they're like, hi, Mom! And you're like, oh, you little shit, you're fine. You know what I mean? And then you just, like, whatever, and then, so I have, like, recordings, like, my aunt would come over a lot, and we would, like, record my baby crying, because it was so cute, because she'd be like, Diapers! And you're like, you are so fake. Like, you're the fakest. You know how people say, like, as a mom, you know your kids cry?
Yeah.
And I think when I say that I let her cry it out, it's because I knew that she was just tired and she just needed to do like the until she fell asleep. And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
If my baby did like that gut curdling scream, cry,
God.
you can't, like, as a mom, like, you're like programmed to go when you hear that, right? No, I never let my baby scream it out till she was sweaty and, like, her boogers were, like, glued to her chin or, like, smashed up into her eyebrows and stuff. Yeah, like, you know your kids cry. You know when they need you, and you know when it's okay to let your kid cry for a minute and when it's not, right? So, like, when I had to poo the other morning and I had Ida in the high chair and I went to the bathroom and she cried the whole time I was pooping, it was okay. Like,
whatever.
I wasn't going to hold her and poo. You know what I mean? Like, mama's got to do some stuff. And so, is it okay if my kid, even if she is gut screaming because she thought that I abandoned her, what do you want me to do? Like, walk and drop logs on the way back out to get you? No, you have to figure it out, kid. You're going to have to just figure this one out. Because I have personal mama stuff I gotta do. And you're gonna be fine. And
I mean, you're not a robot? You actually are a human being with human
I had
needs?
2 cups of coffee. What do you think? I had to go to the bathroom. So the baby was fine in her high chair. She was fine. She can't cut herself. She can't climb and pull a bookcase down on top of her. She's fine. She's crying. Yes, let her fucking cry so I can poo. In peace. Not peace. God damn it, I didn't even get to poo in peace. That's the problem with kids these days. You can't even poo.
Have you tried coffee over cardio yet? If not, I don't think we can be friends. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, if you haven't tried it, I don't know what you're waiting for. I have been seeing reviews blowing up all over my social media feed. Roasted to order, for females, by females, 100% Arabica coffee. Win, win, win. Not only will you find the most adorable packages of coffee when you click the link below, but they have tumblers ideal for girls on the go, espresso fit member-only exclusive workouts that you can do from anywhere, and a cozy clothing line ideal for a basic bee like me. With fresh roasted flavors like messy bun and birthday cake, this is a coffee lover's dream come true. Go ahead and click the link to check out Coffee Over Cardio today, and don't forget to use coupon code 10EMMADAWN.
No, but but when it comes to Ida, I'm the suckiest mom this time around. I don't know if it's because I know she's my last.
You're just like, whatever, it's
no,
my last
do you know
one.
what?
If this one's broken,
it's bad.
Who cares?
So we bought her a crib like you would when you're having a baby.
Fake eyelashes all over the place.
Okay, because
you're making so many wishes today.
I swear I have to. I wish my baby wouldn't let me poop in peace. Make it to the moon. Okay, so
blow that lash.
Blow
that lash extension.
Whatever. We're still undecided if it counts if it's not your eyelash. But
well, you know, a wish is never wasted.
No. When you wish I don't even know. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. We bought a crib like you would when you're expecting a baby. Just like any old parent would. Fill that glass to the top. Fill it. Boom.
Ugh.
Bottle empty. Okay.
Done.
So we bought a crib and we bought one of those pack and plays. And so for the first while, she slept in the pack and play next to our bed because she's going to be needing. And I was breastfeeding.
Yeah.
For
Is it the pack
months.
and play that had like the changing table?
Yes.
And like the
it had the
nursery thing or whatever it's called.
It wasn't all that fancy stuff. It just had the thing that attached to it so that it was like higher, not like way down to the floor.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like a foot down below, but like when they're babies, they're not even rolling over, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So she slept in that next to our bed, and I was like able to like get to her, whatever. Then we were like, it's time. We gotta let her go in her own room. So we put her in the crib, and she lasted 4 days. And
What,
then
you mean Chase wanted to have sex?
Nope. I think he was like, that's like what she should be doing, right? I was like, yeah.
That's what I've read on the internet.
Here's the thing, though. My other kids slept in their crib from, like, day one. They slept in their room in their crib. They just did. They just did. Like I said, they just did. Like,
see, I had a C-section and I was breastfeeding, so
you weren't getting up.
I have a memory foam bed, so
you weren't getting up.
I wasn't getting up.
I'm running across the house. Listen, I was 22 and 24. I could jump out of bed, lickety split, and be down the hall, no problem. But this is not the case at 33.
I became a whale after having a kid.
It's not the case this time around. But anyway, so she lasted about 4 days in the crib, and then I would go in to soothe her, and she'd be like, and she's got her arms extended, and the boo-boo lip is fierce on this girl. She's got a boo-boo lip, like...
She's got some serious lips. You might not even have to permanent cosmetic those ones.
I might not have to actually alter my child. She might actually be pretty naturally.
She's perfect.
Who knows? So she boo-boo lips, and she stands up, of course. She's been standing since she was like 6 months old because she's a fucking monster. And so she stands up, and she's got her hands up, wanting me to get her, and not, she's not going back to bed. And I'm not at 2 o'clock in the morning going to soothe my child back to sleep. My ass is tired, so I grab her and I bring her back into our bed, and she's co-sleeping with us. And I'm like, whatever. And then, so now what we've done is we've literally put a mattress on the floor in her room so that she can't fall, and we lay with her until she falls asleep, and then we go to bed, and when she wakes up we lay with her until she goes to sleep, and then at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning one of us just sleeps in the room with her until she wakes up at 7:30. We suck at parenting this baby. We suck.
This one's I'm so surprised.
We're so fucked.
I'm so surprised that it wasn't like the first one that got you. It's your last one. Like when you're supposed to be like
but
like
you
a
know
gold
it's your
medal
last.
Olympic champion of motherhood.
No, that's what they want you to believe, and then it's your last, so you're like, I don't want her to cry, because if you fucked up your other two.
It's like
you're
you
not
still
sure.
got this one.
You've got this one. You can like nurture. You know what I mean? Nature versus nurture.
We are real life moms. Like we're telling you like the real skinny.
Hey, listen, and
you
guys are real life moms too, and you guys probably think we suck, and so that's fine too.
Maybe we're the worst fucking.
We'll find out when my kid kicks your kid's ass when they're teenagers.
Well, now you're the worst mom ever. Let me hold her back.
I'm kidding. I don't know. We'll find out when they're older if we ruined them or if we parented them well.
Yeah, you're never gonna know until
you won't know until it's too late. And that's all that matters.
Do you want to answer that? Chase just called you.
He did, and I'm just saying, recording, you already knew that.
Man.
Recording last episode. He just can't. He's had the baby all day. He'll be okay. Okay. So, anyway, cry it out, whatever, who cares? Just do what works for you.
Right.
Spanking. How do you think I got pregnant? I totally believe in spanking. Okay. Spanking your kids. Go for it. Your baby's only 2. He's not even 2.
He's 2. He's going to be 3 in September.
Oh, yeah.
I was not all about spanking him in the beginning.
Okay.
However, his dad has like a pretty firm hand, but I spank Milo very little. Mm-hmm. I think I understand.
And do you do like a spank or like a love tap? Do you do like a...
He's also still in diapers.
Kids, well, yeah, but kids react to mama just doing a little... Whoop.
Yeah.
One little guy.
I don't like full blown like bend him over my knee and like whip him with a switch like my grandma made me go get from like she would
go
make
get
us
grandma's belt.
She would make us go and like get wooden spoons from like this ceramic
that's
thing.
Scarier. When you have to go get your own weapon.
Or if we were outside, she would make us pick a stick from the tree.
Ooh,
and
I like your grandma.
I feel like I never even got hit with those items because I was
already
so scared.
It's scary. When you have to pick the own weapon, that's like digging your own grave.
Right.
Like, legitimately, you're like,
I might have gotten spanked with the stick that I pulled off of the tree myself. Probably, like, once. But,
You must have done something bad. Troublemaker. That's who you are.
But yeah, I don't really spank Milo that much. The most, like, the thing I do the most is I smack his hands because he has started getting into this thing where, like, he wants to grab, like, objects and he's a scratcher. My kid is a scratcher, and it makes me so mad when he's like, because he's doing it out of anger. He's not doing it because he's a baby and he's confused. He's doing it out of anger, and that like pushes my nerve, and I will smack his hand every time he does that because it's like, stop hurting me. Like, and I'm sure there's going to be moms out there that are like, oh, well, you can't use violence against violence. Honey, but I'm like,
I'm going to make you look like the best mom in the whole world here in a second. When I explain what I've done to my kids. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Are you a spanking mom?
Dude, listen. Nope. I'm not a spanking mom. I have spanked my kids. And when I say spanked my kids, I mean spanked the loving hell out of my kids one time each in their life.
Really?
All it took was the one time. Now, here's the deal.
Did you hit him hard?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. One time.
Did you cry?
No.
Oh,
you
my
can't
God.
You can't show emotion when you're... Listen, time each. Once.
If I ever spanked Milo, I would probably run into the bathroom right after and cry.
Nope, you have to do... So this is what I did. So
I'm such a pussy.
Okay, now listen. You have to understand, y'all. I grew up in a family where if my brothers and I did something bad, my dad would grab our heads and clock them together. I mean, we're talking like a dizzy spell. You're seeing stars. Clock them together. I was raised in England. Apparently, it's a lot more understanding there, or they like let parents abuse their children more, or some whatever it is. Anyway, that's how I grew up. And my mom, she totally spanked us. My stepdad spanked us. My dad would smack our heads together. Like, it was normal for me. And so, like, I don't think it's bad because, like, all of my family is fine, right? We're all grown-ups and have kids, and we're all, like, decently successful humans. And whether or not you agree with it or not, that's just how I was raised, and it worked for my parents. And it might not work for other people's parents, but it worked for mine. And so, here's the thing. My kids, I would say to them, like, I will spank your butt. And they don't test it for a while. And then one day they do. And so I said to my daughter, I will spank your butt. And she, we're at home and she like, okay, I'm not going to test it. So then what does my little manipulative little shit do?
The middle child?
No, she's my oldest. She's a manipulator.
Is that Emma?
Yep.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Smart.
We have the same name.
Smart little fuck. So we go out to dinner with her, with my ex-husband's grandparents. So they're like relatively old, right? And we go to this restaurant, and Emma thinks that because we're out at a restaurant, Mama doesn't mean business. And so she does the same thing that I told her earlier. I said, I will spank you. Do you need a spanking? And she says, no. But then she does it. She pulls the same, I can't even remember what it was, but she pulls the same shit again. I think she was just screaming. I think she was doing a on the floor tantrum. I'm not going to be that mom. I'm not going to have that kid that is at the checkout at Target while my kid is writhing on the floor, rolling over and, screaming
God.
bloody murder. It's not my kid. It won't be my kid. Promise you that. So anyway, she does it at home, and I said, I will spank your ass. And she stopped. You need a spanking?
No. I'm afraid now.
And she's, no.
Your
she
mom
doesn't need
voice
it.
and your mom
Oh,
eye.
Hmm.
You got a good mom eye.
You need that?
Sometimes I do.
So we go to the restaurant, and she throws herself on the floor and does it. And I just went up real close to her, and I said, you forgot about the bathroom. And I grabbed her by the arm, and I dragged her ass into the bathroom, and one swift one to the ass. And
Really?
she's like, ah! And
Did
I
she
said,
cry?
you're about to scream. And let me just tell you right now, you have two options. You can keep throwing a fit, and I will march your ass out to the car, and we will drive home, and you will miss dinner with Grandma and Grandpa. Or you can put on a smile, and you can act like a decent person while we are outside, because I know you can, because you do it at home. Would you rather go have a nice dinner with Grandma and Grandpa, or would you like to go home and go to your room for the rest of the night? And she's like, I want to go have dinner with Grandma and Grandpa. Okay. Let's go outside and have a nice dinner. And we walked out, and she has never, ever, ever, ever since. Not one time. Not once. Not once.
Really?
And never again.
Ugh.
And with my other daughter...
See, I was spanked so much. Like, my mom was so, she would
can't.
smack us.
You can't do
for
it.
every little thing.
You can't.
That I'm, like, so afraid of. Because, for me, it's just me and Milo. Like, I have a different thought process on being a single mom than
I was
think,
a single
like,
mom at
my
that
mom
time.
had.
Yeah.
Than, like, my mom had. So, for me, I want to keep mine and Milo's relationship so close because mine and my mom's relationship is so bad, and spanking is one of those things that she would like. That's like her first instinct: smack, smack, smack. I have smacked Milo a couple times, but it's like when he needs a spanking, I get to the point and I fucking chicken out. Like,
but
I'm
do you know what?
such
Do
a
you know what the
baby.
difference is between like the relationship with you and Milo and the relationship with you and your mom? Is that you didn't
I'm not
respect
on opioids?
No, you didn't. Well, yeah, hopefully. Hey guys, newsflash: she's sober-ish.
Well, this is a Mommy Wines podcast.
No, is that you didn't respect your mom.
Yeah, I didn't.
You had zero respect for your mom. So your
Oh.
mom's hitting you, and it's abuse.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as discipline. There's abuse and there's discipline. And, people may totally disagree with me. I don't hit my kids on the daily. I don't. Like I said, I did it one time. She did the same. Like, they test it, right? They'll test you. So
Right.
at home, my daughter was spitting. She was going in your face. And I was like, spit one more time and you're getting hot sauce in your mouth. And she's like, okay, I won't. Well, then I hear her spitting at her sister. I said, Jace, come here. She comes walking out. She's probably like 4, walking out. And I said, guess what I just heard you do? She said, what? I said, I heard you spit at your sister.
Oh my God.
So guess what?
Did you put hot sauce in her mouth?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hot sauce on the tongue.
You're so tough.
I have to be. I was a single mom. I had to be.
You're so
I didn't have
small,
anybody
but
else.
You're so mighty.
She's a mighty mouse.
You're a
No.
mighty mouse. I am such a pussy.
No,
you have no idea.
listen, because I'm too fucking scared that my kids are gonna start walking all over me, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
Milo.
be that single mom that's like, my kids just like wreck my life. No way. We are on a team. If you start acting out of line, bitch, I'll put you back on our team where you got to be on the team. Like,
Dude,
I
not
don't
gonna
do
lie.
this. I don't like abuse my kids, pour hot sauce in their mouth, and then like Chinese torture them or stick them in a dungeon or something.
You mean you don't lay them on a table blindfolded and put like water on their mouth or
No,
whatever?
I haven't
What is
done
that
water
called? Is it water torture or something?
waterboarding.
Water planking?
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding?
Yeah,
You
I
don't waterboard
I don't
your
waterboard
kids?
my kids, but
That's where you draw the line, right?
I had when we're talking about like American torture techniques, I have not done those, but I would if the bitches test me. I haven't gotten into I haven't gotten into the teenagers, so I don't really know yet. But so far, what I've been doing has been working. My
You
kids.
got pregnant at prom? Waterboarding.
Oh, for sure! Absolutely, I would. We'll see about that. No,
Good.
here's the thing though. So I gave her the hot sauce, right? And she didn't spit anymore. So I thought. But she decided that she thought that while we were out and about driving around town, that if we're in the car and we're not at home, where's mom going to get the hot sauce from? So she spit at her sister in the car. Ooh. And I did the same thing I did to sis. I leaned over and I said, you forgot about Taco Bell.
Oh my God.
And I drove my ass to Taco Bell and I got hot sauce and she's going, stop
No,
it. Mama, no. I'll never do it again. And I said, I know you won't. And I squirted a thing of hot sauce in her mouth in the car.
It.
Yeah, they cry for a minute, but guess what? Guess who stopped spitting? And I don't do idle threats to my kids.
Dude, Milo is such a spitter. And I do all the...
Not my kids.
My threats are so empty. You shouldn't even have cheersed me to that.
You can't empty threat your kids.
My threats are I'm such a pussy.
You can't. You got to do it one time.
I love him just like so much.
Are you saying I don't love my kids?
No, but
I fucking love my kids so much too.
I love him so much, and I'm like, I don't want you to not love me, so I just give him whatever
he wants.
wants.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue, and this is what I'm
probably like the worst mom.
No, you're not the worst mom. It's just hard because you want your kids to have all the things.
Yes.
You want them to have all the things. But here's what I say.
Happy.
This is what I tell my kids. I say, do you know why I have to ground you and not let you go on this sleepover tonight? It kills me. Like, I had to let one of my daughters go to their grandma's house for the weekend, and I had to keep my other daughter home. She didn't get to go have a weekend with grandma. That kills me. I want my kids to have all the love. If I have somebody that loves my kids as much as I love my kids, I want my kids to have that love, experience that love, get the love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want it so badly for them. But if bitch does something, I think she like lied to me, or she said that she didn't know where my other daughter's phone was, and it was in her bed, and she's like, oh, can we just look for it tomorrow? And you just know when your kids are lying. And then I went in there and I found it, and I'm like, guess what? Sorry, but you lied, and you hid that, and you were going to try to be on electronics after, lights out. You don't get to go to grandma's this weekend. Killed me. Oh, of course. It was the worst thing ever for her to know that her sister gets to go to the movies, and grandma spoiled the grandkids.
Right, eat candy, junk food,
do all the best
probably
stuff.
go and get like pizza.
Oh, all the best things.
Stay up late.
Yep. And she didn't get to do it, and her sister got all the treatment, and she got none of the treatment. And it killed me, and I said, do you know why I had to ground you? It's not because I don't want you to be happy. I wanted you so badly to get to go be with your grandma. I wanted that for you. But what I want more for you is to not miss your first prom. Because if you were to continue to do this stuff and I let you do it, and one day I realize that prom is like 2 years away from you being able to make all those decisions on your own, and I don't have any say over them. You are 2 years away from being an adult and being out on your own and making bad decisions that impact your life, and you not understanding or grasping the gravity of those decisions and how they affect your life. If you do that, and I have to do that at 16, and I have to because I have to protect you from yourself at 18, I don't want you to miss your first prom. So
anybody that thought she was a bad mom, she's such a good mom.
No, she has to miss it at 10 years old. At 9 years old, she has to miss the big stuff at 9, because then she gets to go to the big stuff at 16. And then when she's 18, she understands the big stuff at 18, because you can't wait. You can't wait. You can't.
Well, yeah. At
you
18,
can't wait.
They're done.
At 18, you don't get a say in it. At 18, they're ruining their own lives, and you don't get to do anything about it. So do it at freaking 8 so that you don't have to try to do it at 16 when they're really making poor choices, right? Like big poor choices. At 16, they're going to be making like big girl poor choices. Like they're ovulating poor choices. Those big poor choices.
Or,
do it.
Hey, somebody's trying drugs at this bar.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it.
Right, because look, at the end of the day, your 2-year-old is going to know that you love them. And if you can parent your 2-year-old, you can parent your 16-year-old. Now, I don't know. I'm just saying that because I don't have a 16-year-old, but so far, my 8-year-old and my 10-year-old are on my team. And I hope they're
pretty all right.
I hope that they stay on my team. I really do. Cute. I really hope they stay on my team, and I hope that they understand the gravity of the consequences of their actions. So that is why I make a pretty severe consequence when they're young, when it's a small thing, right?
Yeah.
It's small, but it's a big consequence because they need to understand that every action has a reaction. And I don't want to wait until it's a really, really big problem.
That's one of the things that Milo's dad and I fight about the most, is that he's never lived a life that came with consequence. Mm-hmm. And he just...
You had consequence without even having the action.
Yeah.
You just got consequences for just being brought into the world, and everything was a consequence for you without you even, like, inviting that consequence.
And that's one of the things, like, if... I don't know. I want such a good co-parenting relationship with Milo's dad. I feel like we should just sit down and do, like, therapy, but he would never.
No, it's impossible. And you know what? I'm grateful that as of right now, I don't have a co-parenting relationship. You guys, that was a long one.
That was a huge one.
But here's a short one. Co-sleeping.
We both did it.
Who gives a fuck?
Okay.
Do what works for you.
I did it at a C-section. I'm a lazy ass bitch. Co-slept. Number 10, home versus public versus private versus charter schooling.
You don't have a school-age child yet.
No, but I had multiple different versions of those.
Like yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I always envisioned my son going to private school.
That wasn't a laugh at you.
However, I now live in Utah, where the schooling system ranks so low. I think public sanitation might be higher ranking in Utah.
Probably. We're a very clean state.
Yeah. You can give 10% of your income to a church, but fuck, your kids are gonna grow up stupid. Like...
Stupid-ish.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the schools are rated like a 4 or a 2, you know? So they're they're not zeros.
That's true.
But they're just not very good.
Well, it's bizarre to me that is where it rates because there's, like, not a lot of inner city schools here. On a field, so you have to I mean, I'm sure there's probably someone somewhere that has the statistics on this, but on a field, like, if you were to put it on across statewide, all of the schools are probably pretty similar, right? But none of them are all bad. Where when you get an average of a place like Ohio, you've got really great suburbs that probably have a lot of money, but then you have inner city schools that bring that average down, right?
Yeah.
But the average is still where you have really high stuff. Yeah. Averages it out on a higher basis.
Like the school that I went to, so the public school that I went to was in a very, very, very small town. But it was also rated very highly for the county. And the counties are also smaller out there. Like, Salt Lake County is pretty much, like, all of Salt Lake. Like, it's a huge county.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there's not a lot going on in Utah. 50% of the population doesn't drink a latte or a beer. You know?
Well, yeah.
That's not our audience, but...
That's not our audience.
But, like, so there's not a lot of crime, because you think about it, like, when people are afraid of going to hell because they're drinking a latte, they're probably not gonna, like, rob a bank.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Well, you know what? It's funny though because the white collar crime here is like it's real. It's bad, but it's fine. That could be a different podcast.
We'll get into it, but yeah, like there's not a lot of like real hardcore inner city. My boyfriend Mike is from the most ghetto area of Utah, northern Utah, Salt Lake. I don't know what you want to call it, but Kearns.
Oh yeah, that's pretty ghetto.
But still, it's like a regular
But he's
neighborhood.
doing just fine, right?
He's fine. He drives trains. I don't know what that means, but he makes money when he doesn't go to work. And however, I go to work every day, and I still make 50% of the income that he does because, you know, whatever.
That's how it goes.
Fuck him.
So, home versus public versus private versus charter.
I would say my favorite is private. Just because that's what I always thought my kid would do. I don't have the patience or the resources or the ability or the mental health to do homeschooling.
Nope.
People who do the homeschooling, I think, are angels. You are a much better parent than me.
How do you like your kids that much?
I don't know. I want Milo to go to school because then I can stop feeling guilty about putting him in daycare.
I don't know how anybody stands their kid that long.
I also have a friend, Jackie, if you're listening, love you. But she is a substitute teacher now that she has her own kid. She's kind of been working into going back to work, but she stayed home for a while and did substitute teaching. And she said charter schools are the worst.
Really?
Yeah. Like, she was, like, very anti.
I know that there's, like...
charter.
What, like, there's one kind of gaining traction, American Prep. And I know I found them in...
Is that a charter school? Because that's what I looked at for Milo.
American Prep. It's charter school. Private here is, like, Challenger, and Emma went to Challenger for preschool, but, dude, who can afford that shit? Look,
I don't know.
If you can afford private school, send your kid to private school. Sure.
I gotta.
You're giving your kids a heads up that's great.
Hey, my boss. Maybe you should promote me so I can afford to send my kid to a decent school, because I am not gonna send him to a school. I will sell my ass on the corner before I send him to a school that's rated a 2.
You know, and I agree with that, because I've chosen not to purchase homes in areas because of the school rating, but at the same time, like, it's been my first year this year that I have had my kids be able to ride a bus. And, let me tell you what.
Is it like a school bus or like a city bus?
School bus.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I don't care what that school is rated. I don't have to take my kids and pick them up. That's great. Well, in theory. But again, they're not going to an inner city shit school. They're going to just a school or whatever. And it has a dual immersion Chinese program. It's not a bad school.
What is that?
Like, they learn Chinese while they learn all the other stuff too. So, like, my daughter is speaking Mandarin.
Why?
Because it's a dual immersion school. It's like a decent little school. And it's public. And I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's behind on anything. I think she's reading and she's writing. And my kids are smart. And they go to public school. And it's fine. And do I think that they would be light years ahead if they were in private school? Probably. But they're in public school because that's what I can afford. And I'm not about to spend a fucking college tuition on my 4th grader. Sorry.
Utah's also a very different world. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not only a different world in the sense that it's its own little place in the world because it's different than every other place ever. Mm-hmm. But in the United States, there's 50 states.
Yeah, that's the consensus.
And it is,
if you Google it,
the most unique place I've ever been.
I would say Utah and Texas are pretty unique little places where they're like their own little thing going on.
Utah has a system and a culture that is unlike any place I've ever been before. And I feel like things just work differently here than they do everywhere else. Mm-hmm. And I am trying so hard because my son's dad obviously is out here and his family's out here. Mm-hmm. And I just got a text from my son's grandma, who I love so much. Like, she's his only grandma. So I want him to
have a relationship
and continue to be close with them. But it's a place that, like, for me, being someone who wasn't from here originally, I'm so unsure about so many different things about raising my kid here. Mm-hmm. It's, like, terrifying, and it's very overwhelming.
You would go private. I would say whatever the fuck you can afford, put your kid in there, whatever works.
I would go private.
Vaccination. Hold on. We're just gonna say the word, and we're gonna leave the topic, because we already know the rhetoric that comes with it. Right?
There's going to be a lot of backlash, I feel, about that one.
Whatever. No, we know the rhetoric that comes with it. You know, if you're pro-vac or you're no-vac, you know what your story is, right? So it's a one-word answer. Are you a vaccinator or no-vax? Go.
I vaccinated.
Vaccinate! Okay, moving on. Medicating children.
I also flipped a coin.
No, you didn't. You fucking liar.
I did flip a coin.
You flipped a coin on whether to vaccinate your child.
I did.
Oh, Lord help us.
There's so many opinions on both sides.
Oh,
and there's
God.
So many different facts on both sides.
I can't with it.
I flipped a coin.
1860. What was the age, the median age that people died? In 1860. Like 40 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Why? Because they all fucking died of goddamn weird ass measles and mumps and all this shit. And I almost died from the goddamn chicken pox. So let me just tell you right now, if we are dying at 105 years old, some people are dying in their 80s, 90s, 100s, and some people are making it to like 110.
Okay. Well,
I would say there's a reason for that. Is that you're putting a little bit of a virus in, but you're putting it in a safe ratio. But I can't. I feel like you look at the numbers and you say, look, yes, some people are going to feel shitty and there are probably some shit in there. But at the end of the day, if you're eating McDonald's, then I don't even know why anybody is going to complain about getting a vaccine because you're feeding your kids fucking garbage. So
Dude, those are the best fries.
I fucking love them, but you can
can't
get
even...
cancer from them. It says it right on there, just like our microphones.
Shut up.
Yeah, in California, because they have to.
And we could have got a better microphone if you weren't such a freaking baby.
But it's true.
You're going to eat McDonald's french
I'm
fries
gonna eat
and
McDonald's
not get
french
a
fries
good
on
quality...
the way home, but I won't get a good quality microphone. I know, because I'm a fucking
Every
idiot.
one of our listeners is going to think that you're the biggest bitch.
I'm a fucking bitch. Okay, vaccinations done. Medicating children.
I'm assuming this is like Ritalin.
Melatonin or what?
Oh, if it's melatonin, I'm fucked. Because
Bitch, he ate the whole bottle. One night he couldn't sleep. I put it in his bottle. Who cares?
Milo loves melatonin.
Ritalin?
But I'm
Ritalin?
assuming it's like
Okay.
Ritalin.
And what does it mean by children?
Like ADHD age children.
Well, what age is that?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm a wine mom.
I don't know if you have enough information to answer this. Medicating children, I don't know. I haven't ever had to medicate my children, but if it's like melatonin or Benadryl or Tylenol, fuck
Oh, yeah, obviously.
for
I'm not going to let my kid die of a fever because I refuse to give him Tylenol.
10,000%. Cloth versus disposable. Is this even a fucking question? Cloth versus disposable diapers.
I did disposable diapers.
I thought you were about to be like, and then I realized that global warming. No. Listen.
No, but I did Honest Company because they were a sponsor of the Emmedon blog, Emmedon.com.
And I used Honest diapers, and literally my child peed through every single one that she wore, so never again.
So cloth versus disposable. Yeah, I did disposable. I thought about doing cloth, but it freaked me out.
Look, you're already dealing with shit, and it already gets on your hands and your fucking rugs and your bed.
In your life.
Do you really need more laundry to do?
No.
Do you really need more laundry when you have baby spit up and you have like them puking on your shirts and no.
I do think, however, it's smart to like research because there's a lot of diapers out there that have really high like chemical counts. So if you can get like a more like safer, biodegradable, hypoallergenic diaper, I think that's going to be better. I know. You're a loves. Ida's a loves baby.
I literally am like, oh shit, we're out of diapers. Who's the cheapest at Costco?
Probably Loves.
Kirkland brand. Or like they sell Huggies and it's a good deal. And that's what I do. I literally, what the fuck is easiest
On
and
sale.
cheapest?
Well, see, Milo he had so many skin problems and he's so sensitive.
Fair enough.
That I had to go natural. Not that I wouldn't have in the first place, but I had no choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
If I was like, oh, I'm out of diapers, what's the cheapest? And I could do that, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, cheapest formula, cheapest diapers.
I would probably do it.
I got bills to pay. I can't. Yeah, I wouldn't if my kid was breaking out from it. Like, obviously, when I gave Ida her first formula and she wasn't like, it took us a long time to get her to a formula that worked for her. Yeah, I was spending $40 a can because I didn't want my baby to be uncomfortable.
Right.
But when she was finally able to when we introduced solids, I was like, we going Kirkland brand formula, girl. $18 a whole can. Yeah, I'm saving money. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it all has to pass the same standards. And that brings us to actually our last one.
Last one is store-bought baby food versus homemade.
I don't even eat homemade food.
What?
I mean, I would, but I don't have time to home make my food. I literally drive through. I eat freezer food, anything that's sitting in my pantry that you add water.
You're so thin, I fucking hate you.
No, I don't have the fucking time to make that shit. I actually went grocery shopping the other day, and then Chase left all the groceries in his car, and they all went bad. Yeah, so that's my life. But I was gonna make meatloaf with mashed potatoes and broccoli. But the broccoli went bad. So there.
I bought a baby
One of
food
those puree things.
pureer.
How many times did you use it?
It was very fancy from France.
Okay.
Cost a fucking shit ton.
Yep. Used it how many times?
Like twice.
So did you know that you could probably like make like garlic puree with that? So you could still use it.
I don't. I got
No,
rid
but
of
you
it.
could.
I could.
So
If anybody else is out there and they're like me and they use their very fancy French baby food maker twice, put some garlic in it.
Yeah, look. Here's
But-
the deal. When it comes down to it,
Milo likes the baby food. Like, he liked...
those little pouches are real convenient.
Yeah, he loved the pouches. He loved being able to feed himself. He loves, I made the same things that were in the baby food
Yeah.
store-made puree
Yeah.
things.
Blueberry, oatmeal, beet, and banana.
Right.
Yeah.
I made that.
Gross.
And he fucking
gross.
shut me down and was like, you're the worst in the kitchen. You need to go back to your day job. You suck as a mother and ruin my life.
Yeah, literally, hand me another one of those pouches. Ho.
Like, I felt so bad because I wanted to, like, I was so crunchy. I wanted to do, like, the best by my baby any way I possibly could. And at the time I was introducing solids, he was already, like, not, like, we were supplementing formula. So I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, just take the baby food that I made you because I bought special organic vegetables for you.
Yeah.
I bought
And
special...
you're not eating any of that shit.
No.
I'm not fucking eating this garbage veggies.
And I was like, don't, like, just, like, make me feel like a good person. And all he wanted
won't.
was, like, the Gerber.
He won't
Like,
because he doesn't care.
plastic
Yeah.
tubs of baby food.
And look, now he eats Swedish fish, macaroni, and cheese.
Oh, and yeah, now his diet is
See?
awful.
So whatever. It's kids do what they want.
However,
They're
I did
little
buy
assholes.
wheat bread last week.
Oh, yeah, because that's so much healthier, I promise. Okay, guys, when it comes down to it, pro-life, pro-choice, up to you. Baby wearing, up to you. Circumcision, who do you think it's up to?
The dad?
Personal choice. Adoption, up to you. Baby piercing,
Flip a coin.
whatever. Breast milk versus formula, whatever works.
Feed
Cry
your
it
baby.
out. Yeah, feed your baby. Cry it out, up to you. Spanking, do what works. Co-sleeping, however you can get some sleep at night.
Yeah.
Home versus public versus private versus charter. Whatever you can fucking afford and that
And-
teaches your kid.
And where you live, because this is not where I grew up.
Yeah.
Things are way different. And if you move or if you're a military family or whatever, then you're probably going to move again.
Yep.
And just find out what's best for your area.
Vaccinations.
Flip a coin.
Vaccinate.
Oh.
Medicating children. Whatever the fuck you need to do.
Get a
Cloth-
really fancy quarter.
Yeah, get the best quarter.
Get like a dollar. Like a dollar
Ooh,
coin.
yeah, like a silver dollar.
Like a Samajawiya.
Leave it up to the Sacagawea. Cloth versus disposable. Whatever the fuck you want. Store-bought baby food versus homemade.
Feed your kid.
Whatever the fuck your kid will eat.
Feed your
and
kid.
that, you guys, is how you parent. You parent how it works for you.
Cheers.
All of my cups. I have so many cups. Hold on.
You're like a beer, a Bellini cup, a wine
I've
glass.
done a couple bevies today, but you guys, when it comes down to it, nobody's parenting wrong. Nobody is doing anything wrong. You just got to do what works for you.
Do you, Bill?
Do you, boo-boo. Boo-boo. And that's the right way to do it.
And that is the end of this podcast. So go ahead and join our Mommy Wines Podcast Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram at Mommy Wines Podcast. And check out themommywines.com.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode and want to listen to more podcasts brought to you by the Mommy Wines Network, go check out themommywines.com. And make sure to subscribe to our email newsletter. More projects are coming soon, and by subscribing, you'll be the first to know when they are released. Did you know that we have a Facebook group? Head over to Facebook and join for fun contests, giveaways, special deals, events, and more. A special thanks to our sponsors, Coffee Over Cardio and Anchor. And don't forget to leave a rating and review wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Until next Wine Wednesday, Mamas, parent and drink responsibly.